Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today, as some of you may be aware, Grayzone Warfare released to creator-only testing. I spent about 95% of my day watching and doing my best to gather some feedback for those who are unable to spend most of their day watching like I was today. The game will be available to creators for 7 days, so make sure you get some time and tune in and get your own feedback and watching some of them play the game. Because honestly, this video is just to give you a summary of what I've watched and my thoughts, but it's always very important for you to summarize your own thoughts. Also, if anyone knows anybody or if you have access to a key, please shoot me a DM or an email. I would love to get my hands on it and get some feedback for you guys and make some videos and make sure I get some very informative content for you guys. Okay, so let's dive into my day one impressions of the game. First off, big props to Madfinger Games. For an alpha, this thing is running much smoother than anticipated, much smoother than I anticipated, much smoother than a lot of other players anticipated. That is the general feedback I am seeing and what I got from watching the videos and streams, excuse me. There were some players that were crashing early on and unable to load into the game, but from what I heard and saw, the devs went out of the way to make sure that they assisted them directly to help players get into the server and get into the game and try it. So it was really awesome to see that because we've seen some hard game launches and horrible dev work such as this. The game, it's beautiful. Unreal Engine 5 really shines through here, and I'm actually so in love with the visuals and the landscape. It truly immerses you in the world of jungle warfare. I mean, if we based everything off the look and feel, it's already a 10 out of 10 already. It's a stunning game, truly, that really packs some amazing immersion into a game where you have other players trying to find you and hunt you. The surrounding landscape absolutely just brings you in and transports you to a whole nother world. So on graphical fidelity for an alpha game, it is already stunning. And with some work, I'm sure it'll only get better. We're moving forward with time. I'm sure they'll fix some of the graphical issues and some of the bugs. But as far as graphics and immersion and just the overall feel and look of the game, Unreal Engine 5, they designed a real good beauty with this one. AI. It is a humongous component of survival looter shooters like this. You most likely know the game Escape from Tarkov, as I've covered it plenty here on my channel. Well, for all the faults and issues with AI in that game, the ability of AI in that game to walk around and be semi-smart by going to loud gunshots, looting bodies, and peeking corners is actually pretty impressive when you think about it. NPCs are a pretty hard thing to nail, especially in shooter games. Sometimes you can easily fall into the two boats of they're absolute bots just walking around and have no idea what's going on, are super duper easy to kill, or you run into Terminators, which are sometimes scavs in Escape from Tarkov, which beam you without any remorse and absolutely send you back to the lobby as quick as a player will. So it's a very easy thing to fall into those traps, and you're trying to, base it and make it immersive and make sure players have a good time and don't feel like they're just running through lobbies with bots, but also not getting stomped on by bots. So it's a really, really important balance you got to find there. Grayzone Warfare AI seems very strange at the moment, and I'm not sure if this is the way they intended it to be. The amount of bullets it takes you to take down an NPC is pretty substantial, sometimes requiring multiple headshots to put them down. They're also really dangerous to fight, which this isn't a COD campaign where you can just trance in there and easily handle all of the AIs like you're Rambo. You have to be smart and strategical. However, a lot of times I noticed the AI would really just act disconnected as if nothing was happening even though they were in a firefight, and then sometimes they become the before mentioned Terminator. So AI definitely needs some tweaking, but I have faith in the way Madfinger's handling this that they'll tweak it up and make sure AI feels a little bit more responsive and immersive. The inventory system, if you've played any looter shooter recently, you will note is very similar to almost all games in this genre, and that's okay. I'm sure some tweaks can be made, but that's hard to discuss this without actually testing myself, so I'll kind of reserve my thoughts on the inventory system. It looks good, it gets the point across, it's not that hard, it's not that complicated, and we'll see what kind of changes come down the line with that. Something I personally love is the insertions and extractions. The fact that this is an ongoing world, much like PlanetSide 2, is such a good idea. The milsim side of me really gets tickled by being heli deployed into an active war zone and being picked up in an LZ from an active combat zone. I don't know what it is for me, but I love this feature so much. Just the ability that it's constantly ongoing. Super duper good decision by them here. This really changes the type of game. The fact that it's constantly going, it's super duper different in terms of something like Escape from Tarkov. Like DayZ has a constantly ongoing world, but to me, this is super duper interesting to see how they're going to implement it and balance it out. The last thing I want to touch on, but I'll reserve my thoughts for a different video because I'm sure people want to, dive into that, is the PvP. Right now, the game seems to be fairly light on it, whether that be from limited players in the game or the faction system or the server caps. It is hard to even touch on this now. What I will say, the PvP fights I did see can, let's say, get intense, in that you can quickly get overrun by AI and the whole area becomes impossible to escape from. I will hold my thoughts for the PvP for now, as it's too early to dive in on this topic personally. So we're gonna just reserve that for another video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. PvP is gonna be very important to the enjoyment and longevity of this game. So we'll see how they tweak that and and how it gets balanced out. Overall, Grayzone is delivering on what they promise, and in this day and age, that's more than most games that come out. We do have a long road ahead of us with early access and plenty of tests and fixes to come, but early on, I've been given hope by Madfinger, and I really hope I get my hands on, but if I don't, I'll do my best to inform you and summarize the best I can for those that can't watch that many streams, so stay tuned right here for some more Grayzone Warfare content. And if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you drop that like, guys. It helps the video get out to others. And if you think it's informative, that'll always be helpful to get more and more in the community in here. Also, and if you enjoy my content and you think I'm pretty cool, a sub goes a super long way in helping us reach that 500 mark and then even 1,000 subs. All right, guys. Peace out. Thank you for watching. See you guys soon.